For me, this sense of America, which has been part of my own heritage, has been best embodied in the music of Aaron Copland, who is recognized as America's leading composer.
The distinguished pioneer of American modern dance, Martha Graham, has influenced the work of both Aaron Copland and Paul Jenkins.
As you say, you know very little about painting. I know very little about music. But one thing brings us together today, other than our mutual purpose, and that is Martha Graham. Long before I was an art student at the League, my first discovery of Martha Graham was through Barbara Morgan's photograph of her in Lamentation.
Oh, yes.
And I was so drawn to this image of Martha Graham that I went home and assiduously copied it on an illustration board, and I still have that to this day. And so we joined hands in being inspired by a woman. As a painter, can I ask the composer a question?
Go right ahead.
Did you visualize her ever on stage while you were creating this music?
I don't think I had her image in the front of my mind, except in a very general way. I knew her for many years before I wrote the ballet for her. And she has such a special and marked personality of her own that it was easy to put it into musical terms, or it seemed so to me.
So it really transcended a collaboration. It was an amalgamation, a joining of two spirits.
I hope so.
Well, it's proven so.
I've often been amused because after a performance, someone's come up to me and said, more than once, when I hear your music and see that ballet, I can just see the Appalachians and feel spring. And the odd thing is that when I wrote the music for Martha, and after she giving me her sort of libretto for the ballet, it had no title. So I had no idea it was going to be called Appalachian Spring. I was really putting Martha to music. The ballet would not have been the same if it had been written for somebody else. Somehow or other, Martha Graham, by personality, suggests a kind of Shakerism. I couldn't tell you exactly why. There's something rather prim about her. I can't any longer remember how I got hold of a whole volume of Shaker melodies and dances, but it was quite a find when I happened on it. It's a strange thing about folk materials, you know. I can sometimes get to know one and I think, gee, that's a good tune, but I could never do anything with it. On the other hand, I'll get to know out of a book some tune, and immediately I have a sort of a natural impulse to do something about it. I've never been able to analyze what controls the lack of interest, but it is a spontaneous thing. So that I feel very clever to have combined Martha and Shaker tunes. It needn't necessarily have happened. I could have written her a whole ballet score without any Shaker tunes. But it's one of those lucky things that you congratulate yourself with later on.
I can't tell you what it's meant to all of us to be able to be here today. And inasmuch as you've been able to tell us about your sharing with Martha Graham, Appalachian Spring, would you allow us to ask you one more kindness? Would you play a passage from Appalachian Spring?
Well, I could try it. I haven't played Appalachian Spring myself at the piano in a long time, and it wasn't written for piano, but I'll take a chance.
Voice of the master. That's what we want.
This is the way the ballet ends.
beautiful. Absolutely haunting. Thank you. Thank you, Aaron Copland.